Okay. Hey guys. Um I'm back. uh as you can see from my channel, it's been like 2 months. Probably about to go on like 2.5 months since I posted. The last video I posted was like it was a couple weeks after the summer Hikaru died had finished airing. Which by the way, so glad that it didn't get like the one season curse. I'm glad that we're getting a season two. Um I don't think they ever established like when we're getting season two, but uh, we're getting season two. That's all that matters. Anyways, so um, I guess the reason for me not posting as much as I, or at least more consistently like I tried to do, I don't think there's really any reason. It's not like I had like a art block, like a extended art block or anything like that, or I didn't have anything I want to post or talk about. It's just I just didn't. Maybe I didn't feel extra motivated, but hopefully I'll try to do that, get better at that as coming into the new year, because we're like a week away from it being 2026. So I decided to just just make one more video before the year closes out. Uh, but despite how this year's been, I did accomplish a lot more than I thought I did. For starters, I'm almost halfway done with my sterile processing program. I do clinicals in January, and if everything goes smoothly, like I don't have to like do any extra days or get sick or anything during my 4 month clinical, I should be done by like April. So like that's cool. Love that. I got like 22 pages. Like I posted 22 pages of my webcomic, which is amazing. Like I've been working on our dad the MMA fighter for like I started development of it and stuff like that for like 18 months, like 19 months now, so almost 2 years. But earlier this year, even like a year ago, I would have never thought I got this far into it and stuff like that. And I'm almost 10,000 words into writing for my novel book, whatever. I'm like writing a book at the time currently, and I've been really getting into it. It's just like I'm like really proud of myself, because like at least on the creative side, I've made like a lot of leaps and bounds. And in terms of like something that I would like to make into a career, I'm making leaps and bounds in that too. So it's been like really cool. There are a lot of things I want to do for the next year. Like I would like to get finished with this book. I would like to start posting like 4 pages for my comic instead of just the 3 that I usually do. But that's just some things. But one thing I wanted to do is like get more into this, well, reading and just being more creative. That's like something I want to do, which is going to lead me into what this speed paint is. We're like 3 minutes into it, so you probably have an idea of like, you probably see what I'm drawing currently. So one thing that kind of helped me get back into drawing is like writing fan fiction. One thing that's gotten me back into writing was writing fan fiction, because I had deleted a lot of my stuff from AO3, which once I'm thinking about it, I actually do regret. Not because they were good or anything like that. They were not the best, but it'll be nice to look back further when it comes to like the stuff I was writing, because I've had my AO3 account for in a few days. I think it's like it's either Christmas Eve or Christmas, one or 2 days. I created my AO3 account, so like almost had this for 10 years now. And I most definitely remember probably writing some stuff when I was like a high schooler, but I deleted it because I was embarrassed. But like I said, I regret it because now it's lost forever and I don't remember what I wrote. But something that I would say helped me get back into writing was like writing fan fictions, because in November I wrote, they weren't long, they were like 2, and they were like combined like maybe a little over 4,000 words, but like it did help me get back into like writing more original stuff. So one thing I think I wanted to do was get back into like creating fan works, or fan art, fan fiction, whatever case may be. So one thing I was thinking about is building like a Teen Titans team, like a Teen Titans team with Damien specifically as the leader. Because one thought I was having, like, I would say a couple months ago, No, I thought I was having, like I'll say a couple months ago, was like one thing I really hate. Well, there's a lot of things I hate about DC when it comes to handling their characters. One thing I hate about them specifically though is when it comes to anybody who is actually close to Damien's age, when it comes to like them developing his relationship. And I'm talking about platonic and or romantic, because Damien over the years, like over the last 20 years or so, has had like a lot of characters he could have, like, he has had a bond with, or or he could have had established a bond with, right? Some of the case being, there's people like Colin Wilkins, Maya Ducard, Syrian Dragar, with that brief little interaction he had with Nell Little, Maps, stuff like that, and it just feels like if they aren't getting tossed into the ether, his cousin Mara, if they're not getting tossed into the ether, they're kind of just getting wiped from DC's history, so like that was like one big thing that kind of established, kind of like influenced me to like start making this team. I think I was trying to like, kind of figure out like a group size for this, because the original Teen Titans they were called a core 4, because like when it comes to like the time where how many times that we were like constantly in a group, it was like 7. So this was like inspired over like, especially over like the, I guess, Teen Titans teams I've seen over the years on Tumblr, especially the ones from like 2010s. That's when I feel like we saw like a lot of like these fan-made Teen Titans teams, which I ain't gonna lie, they were cooking when it came to these. I think I ended up doing like, this is just 1/3 of the group. I got like 2 more batches to do when it comes to the characters, but this is like the first group, and as you can see, so we have Damien. Like I said, Damien's gonna be like the leader of the group. I also plan on doing like some fan fiction about this too. I might work on it sometime this week, maybe even next week. But I wanted Damien to be like a group, so like this could be an opportunity for him to like socialize with some people outside of his family, or like, yeah, that's outside his family. So like they're like, not familiar, they're like kind of distant enough that like these are new personalities that he's dealing with, so that he can gather how to like interact with other people, but like they are still familiar enough that like he's not getting tossed into unfamiliar territory. Also, when it comes to how Damien looks, I'm pushing he looks like Talia. He just has Bruce's eyebrow and hair color, because I don't know, I like the idea of Damien looking just like Talia in everything except for like I said, his hair color and his eyebrow shape. That's all he gets from his father, his hair color and eyebrow shape. So yeah, so I was gonna make him the group leader, because it seems like when it comes to Titans teams, it just seems like most of the time, or at least the last few times of teams that like kind of stuck around, they were always Robin, because in the original Teen Titans we had Dick Grayson. Then there was a time where Tim Drake was Robin. Obviously there are other people who have taken up the mantle of team leader for the Teen Titans, but it's a reoccurring thing that Robin has been like a leader of some form of a Titan team at some point in time. Now that could be because they're just like pushing the Bat family agenda. Like they're just like, oh, Bat just has to be involved in this team some capacity, because like they're like one of the most iconic heroes. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, now when it comes to the next character, Tiffany Fox. Tiffany Fox is the youngest child in general of like the Fox family, and the Fox family, because like Jace Fox is currently like the Batman of New York City. Then like Luke Fox was like Batwing a little bit when it came to the comics and like the animated DC universe. And then like she had an older sister named Tam Fox, who was really associated with Tim Drake, especially during his like Red Robin run. But like DC doesn't particularly treat their black female characters well, especially when it comes to ones as like love interest, especially for the Bat family. Like they really don't treat the black female love interest with like any ounce of dignity or respect. Because I think throughout all the Bat boys, everyone except for like Duke has had like a black female love interest. Bruce had too. So like yeah, but I really didn't like Tiffany. One reason I wanted to do is first of all, I do like the idea of like her being involved in the Bat family in some capacity. Two, I don't know, I think it would be really cool if like Damien kind of started building connections and friendships and relationships with like some people, some like other families that Bruce, that other family that Bruce actually does like being around, stuff like that, because like he does really respect Lucius Fox, and Lucius does have a hand when it comes to like Wayne Enterprise, because it's like, why not? Also, I just wanted the Fox family to be more involved in like the Batman universe, because it's like, despite the fact that like a few of them have been associated with like Batman himself or just somebody in the Bat family, they don't really acknowledge them, and I hate it. And also, one of the biggest reasons is because Tiffany Fox has to have like one of my favorite Batgirl costume designs, and you can see that I'm making reference to it here because it's like her bat signal on her chest is like pink, and this was like, what was that? Not Future State? Was that Future State? I don't know. I can't remember the comic off the top of my head, but it's like a comic. It's like one in the future where it was her, Cass, Stephanie, and then Barbara Gordon. And they were all like Batgirls. Like, it's like one of my favorite, Batgirl costumes, like I mentioned. Also, she's just so cutie patootie. I think she could like, well, at least what little we get of her personality, she could work really well with like Damien in terms of like banter and connections, and them just, building some form of friendship. When it came to that fan fiction, I was gonna write, I don't know if there's gonna be like an ongoing story or like a one shot. Honestly, it'd probably be for the best if I like if I made it like a serialized stories instead of like one shots, but that can kind of help me build up when it comes to my writing, when it comes to me writing other things. But Tiffany is going to be like, I guess, the character we open up with when it comes to like the story that I'm writing and stuff like that, because I feel like, why not open up with her, especially because I have an idea of what I want her to say. And then when it came to like the Teen Titans, when it comes to like most of them, they have a Bat and a Wonder. That's always one or two, like somebody Wonder Woman associated, and then someone from Bat family, obviously. And now for my team, there's like two different characters that are associated with Wonder Woman that I wanted to add. Because first of all, Wonder Woman does not get her respects despite the fact that she's part of the Trinity. And also, I was like stressing myself. I was thinking like, oh man, I don't want too many people associated from the same families. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, we won't. So the last character we have here, she's on the left hand corner is Lutta, or Hippolyta, but they call it Lutta for short. So Lutta is the daughter of Cersei and Ares. Ares and Cersei, when she had took on like a civilian identity, and she kind of got really mixed up in the like sauce and everything like that. But she's the daughter of those two. She was raised on Themyscira with Io. And she's been associated with like magic, stuff like that. So like she's also like, she doubles as a magic user. And one thing when it came to building my Teen Titans team is like, I kind of wanted to be like characters who aren't getting the spotlight, or who I feel like could be brought into like the new era, because the other person who's associated with the Wonder family that I have in here, he was mentioned once like in the 90s and has not been seen since. So, but I'm still gonna add him because like, why not? Especially because like he has, taken speaking, canonically been like bestowed the title of Wonder Boy and stuff of that nature. But yeah, when it comes to like her Wonder Girl costume, like you guys can't see it because it's like a headshot, but like these probably down to her shoulders. I was inspired by like some other versions of like Cassie's Wonder Girl costume, and then a costume I made for like an OC for like My Hero Academia. I kind of did like a mixture of like those two when it comes to hers, and then I decided to do like a purple when it comes to the color scheme, because I think people got their own association. Like you could say that like Donna's color is like, she's associated with like black, white, and or silver. Then when it comes to Cassie, she's like red and gold or yellow. And then Diana, she's like red and blue with some white. Like it tends to, like her, like Lita's color scheme is like purple, so I wanted to make it like a darker purple, and I think that will make her stand out amongst like the other Wonder family. And I feel like when it comes to her and Damien, I feel like their personalities might clash in like different kind of ways and stuff like that. Also, like I said, she is heavily associated with like magic, so I wanted a magic user to be involved. Um, that's one reason like I chose her, because I feel like we don't get like, I don't know, I think it'd just be fun to have like a magic user on the team. But I do really like what I did with everybody's design. I kind of like Tiffany's the one I probably followed it most with canon, outside of like giving her a nose ring. Then they tell like she's 100% off the dome, like I said, because she didn't show up in a lot of issues. She showed up in like 30 issues. And that's it. She hasn't been mentioned since, which, and people say like she should have been the most recent Wonder Girl, which is true, to be honest. And then, like I said, I'm pushing the agenda that like Damien looks like Talia. So, and also he's not wearing like the most recent, gray and what's that, black Robin costume. He's wearing like some previous incarnations. But overall, yeah, here are the designs. I really like them. Next time I post a video, it might be like the next batch of characters. So see you later.